Hello and welcome to this video. My name is ActiqueRS, and first of all I want to say thank to RS Roji for featuring my channel in his video. I didn't ask for any kind of shout out, so I was very surprised when I saw my channel in this video, and I was surprised when my friend started PMing me that I was featured in this video. So I definitely want to welcome all of you that transferred from that video to this channel, and I hope that you enjoy your stay, whether you stay subscribed or not. But anyway, in this video I want to talk about warbands, and as you might know, I'm doing warbands pretty much every single day, and that's because I don't find any reason to not do it since it's in the game and everybody else is doing it as well. So it's a bit overpowered XP of course, but I'm doing it because it's a part of game and it's not cheating anyhow. So as somebody who does it almost every day, I think I have a pretty good insight of what the warbands is missing. Because at the moment when you do warbands, there are PKers and then there are the people that are doing organized warbands by the warband tracker. And the way it works is that the people that are doing organized warbands with the warband tracker, they have set worlds, which worlds the French chats can do, and the French chats then do those worlds. And anybody who crashes those worlds is considered a PKer and somebody that shouldn't be there, and it's not part of the organized warbands. So they are the crashers or the rogues or whatever PKers. And as somebody who wants to gain XP when they play RuneScape, I definitely love organized warbands, and I really like the warband tracker system because it's just so much more convenient for the players who want to go to warbands and gain XP. But all this creates a big void for the PKers, because the PKers have absolutely no role in the warbands. Because if you want to go to warbands and you want to kill a lot of people and gain something from killing people, you're not gonna get anything. And that's why at the moment if somebody comes to warbands and PKs you, he's pretty much just somebody who wants to piss you off just for the sake of pissing you off. And this is because if you go and wanna PK somebody and you wanna go kill somebody that has a French chat, you obviously bring portents, rocktail soups, you have full yak of rocktail soup also, and you just go there and kill one person, then go to another and go to another. And all those people that you killed had 25 supplies in their inventory and ready to turn that in for XP. But since your inventory is already full of the rocktail soups and the portents, you cannot pick up the loot. So all the PKer is doing is he's just killing the person that had the loot and then leaving the loot and also all the drops to the ground, because there's nothing to pick up. The loot was not worth it to pick up, and also the gear that the other guy dropped was not worth it to pick up, because somebody who is in warbands and just wants to gain XP, they're not gonna bring any great gear to the warbands at the current system. And one big reason for that is that if you have an inventory of loot, it just means that you are dead meat in PvP. There is no chance you will fight against two people, let alone just one person, if you have a full inventory of supplies from the warbands. So pretty much it's just this, that you go to the camp and you take the loot and hope nobody sees you and you turn it into Quercus. And there is a simple solution to revert this whole situation and also make the PKers gain something for the PKing, is that just simply we need to turn the warbands loot into stackable items. And then if the warband loot would be stackable items, the guys who are looting the camp could bring some food, and there would be a point in fighting back or bringing just better gear to protect yourself, because now when somebody wants to crash you or kill you, you can kill them back. And stackable loot would also make it so that the PKer who already brought the great gear, who brought like Barrow's gear or even Port's armor to the warbands, they could actually pick up the loot from the guy they killed and they could turn that into Quercus, and they wouldn't even have to worry about picking up the loot from the camp. So in my opinion, if the warbands loot was to be turned into stackable items, it wouldn't bring anything new to the warband that doesn't already exist to the warbands. It would just make it so much better and more balanced. And if the loot were stackable, then the PKers would always pick up the loot from the guys they kill, so you wouldn't feel so bad when you die on Warbands, because it's kind of how it was meant to be, because the PKer now got your loot and now he's trying to turn it to Quercus. But with the current system, PKers don't give a shit about the loot that you drop, because it's just not worth it for them to lose all their food and lose their chance to fight in PvP by picking up your loot. So if this kind of a system would be added to RuneScape, I would definitely be bringing a barrow set every single time to the warbands to fight back to those guys who wanna crash my organized warbands that I'm trying to take part into. And I'm sure that many people feel the same way. They wanna fight back to those people, but it's just not possible with the system where you have a full inventory of crap and you cannot do anything with that, because you can't have food, you cannot have portents, you can't have proper armor, because it's just that you are dead meat if you have all the supplies in your inventory. So yeah, that's a perfect solution for the problem, is just to make the supplies stackable, and I really want Jagex to introduce this to RuneScape. And there are also a couple of fixes that should be added to warbands in the same time as they make the loot stackable, if this is something that is interesting to JMods. And one of those things is that picking up the loot from other players shouldn't add up to your daily limit, and your daily 75 limit should be only at Quercus and looting the camps. So basically, if you didn't manage to get your loot from the camp, or you lost your loot from the camp, then you could take part in the warbands and go there and try to kill more people to get more supplies to get your 75 of 75 to Quercus. And it doesn't really matter if people would abuse this system where you can just pick up as many loot as you want, and they would abuse this system so that they make one character that has like 300 supplies for warbands, because you can turn in only 75 out of 75, and as long as the warband supplies would never be bankable, you would always have them in your inventory, and every time you want to go to warbands and you want to kill more people to get more supplies, there is a risk that you will lose all of your supplies to the floor. So I don't think there would be that many people that are running around with 1000 supplies for warbands just from PKing other players, because it would be just too risky to go to the wilderness with all the supplies. So you could, like, in theory, collect in your inventory 150 supplies and then complete 2 warbands in the 2 next days without really taking much part in the warbands. But also you would have to have the items all the time in your inventory, so you wouldn't bank them, so you couldn't do anything else. So this system would avoid people from abusing it completely and just making huge stacks of warband supplies. Of course, there's gonna be one guy who does something like that. They make a second account and you just trade all your supplies to the other account by killing it by another account. Of course, that kind of things can happen, but it's just not that big a problem, to be honest. As long as you can only turn in 75 loot, and every time you die, you lose all of your loot. So there are 2 main concepts that I think should be added to warbands to make it much better, is stackable loot, and also that picking up loot from the ground wouldn't take away from your daily amount, and you could just turn that into Quercus if you just pick up loot from ground and turn that into Quercus until you have turned in 75 out of 75. So what do you think about my idea to improve the warbands? It's not bringing anything new to the warbands, and I don't think it's bringing anything that's too overpowered to warbands. It's just simply bringing the guys who are looting the camp up to par with the players that are just going there to kill other players. And also it's going to make the people that are PKing able to gain something from PKing and not only just annoy people. So every result of this update, in my opinion, is positive, and even the times when you die, you wouldn't feel so bad about it, because the PKer actually gained something for killing you and didn't kill you just for the sake of killing you. So yeah, what do you think about my ideas? If you think this is good, you can leave that in the comments, and if you think it's very bad, you can also leave that in the comments. I want to make some kind of discussion about it. And yeah, if you like this video, please leave it a like and subscribe, and thanks for watching, and see you guys next time.